A note on Blood Simple. The first work, first wonderful film from the Coen Brothers, with a very small, incredibly small budget. I was watching a documentary. I think it was in American cinema, which has 10 parts, and throughout all sorts of directors invited to talk there. Spielberg, Scorsese, and Sidney Lumet, and so many others, Sidney Pollack, Potolește-te, and others. Um, William Wyler, we have some material with statements made by directors from another age of cinema, but wonderful, great ones, fundamental for this art form. And the Coen Brothers were talking about Blood Simple, a wonderful achievement, and the fact that they didn't have money and they had to rely heavily on planning. They had their drawings and they had to know exactly how they would film a scene, because they couldn't afford to have many takes. In fact, my understanding is quite often they could do just one. And from what I remember, they were talking about this scene wherein two characters, one is pulling the other injured from the car, and there's a truck coming. And so I had to be very careful with doing that. Wonderful film. It's the first in a tremendous series. I was noting on True Grit recently, not the best, but it's an incredible lineup. Fargo, a classic already, and now the source of inspiration for an appreciated series. I've seen first and two series, not the most recent, with Ewan McGregor, and Hudsucker Proxy, No Country for Old Men, Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Burn After Reading. It's a colossal body of work, wonderful, exceptional. On the Lady Killers, I'm going to note soon, even if this again is not maybe it's not good that I'm ending with this the examples of great films, because this is the one flop, if you ask me, film which in my view it didn't work out. Maybe because the original Alec Guinness, I think it's also Peter Sellers in it, was so outstanding that when you compare, it's not really. It's a dumb one. So in this we have the story is somewhat classic, or at least it has known ingredients. The wife is cheating on the husband. AB, Frances McDormand. Married to one of the directors. A note here. Emmett Walsh, the private detective. I've seen him in a few films. I think he does an outstanding job. So he's hired by the well-off husband to track down, to bring proof. We again, we're familiar with this aspect. And what is a bit more peculiar is that he's also asked and hired, paid to kill. gets more complicated along the way, of course. Uh, it's not for, as we say here, who is digging the hole for someone else, often falls or always falls in it himself, something like that. Sayings are, in my opinion, mostly stupid. All is for in love and war. Nonsense. And so many others. But the filming, the images, it's also in this take on American cinema, maybe part of American cinema history. The scenes when that's shooting, and we see holes and the lights coming from the holes, and there's a lot of tension, and it's almost a horror movie scene. Uh, Film brilliantly. Exceptional film.